so good to see you. As you can see, we are not home. We are in Washington, D.C. and this is such a special trip because my mom surprised me with tickets to go with her as a girl trip, our final trip together, mom and daughter, before I get married. And this is a place that her and I have been wanting to go to for a while because we're both kind of nerds. Oh, here she is. We're currently at our Airbnb. We're gonna be making breakfast and then we're gonna go kind of explore around. Hopefully we're gonna go maybe to a market today, to the Lincoln Memorial, maybe up close to the Washington Monument, I'm not sure, and yeah. So we stopped at Trader Joe's and grabbed some food to have while we're here, because we don't want to go out to eat for everything. Last night we went to a Ukrainian restaurant. I want to believe it was called Ruko, and that's in like the Capitol Hill area, and then we just stopped by Trader Joe's that was literally right around the corner and got some regular Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt mixed with a honey Greek yogurt so that it can kind of be sweet, also not too sweet, because you know some of those Greek yogurts are just loaded with who knows what. I almost didn't come on this trip because I'm not trying to pivot too crazy right now, but I have developed a fear of flying because I had a very turbulent flight from Colorado back home several months ago, like just non-stop turbulence for probably 15 minutes. And I was like, it was the type of thing where people were bracing their seats. The two people next to me were like calming each other down. And the guy next to me on the right, like I could have sworn was rummaging around for his barf baggie. He was like sifting for it. But it was just like scary seeing so many people bracing their seats. And then also it felt like a little kid was like playing with a toy airplane, going like this, but I'm in the toy airplane. He's just shaking it around. And I was at a level 10 scared. Really hard to come down from that. Even when I was off the plane, I was like, that was nightmare fuel.
To the park, laugh away the blues. People will stare, asking have they lost their minds. And when they
My mom was like, you don't have to come if you don't want to. Like, if this is gonna be a miserable trip, then don't. And I was starting to feel really down, like definitely feelings of depression about just how my fears have really stopped me from living my life. And it felt like a real low for me because it just felt like, why am I letting this fear stop me from doing something that I used to love? I used to love going around and seeing new places and exploring and learning and enjoying God's creation. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom. Anxiety just is horrible. And so actually when I was on the plane, this is what this looks like, by the way. When I was on the plane, I almost started tearing up, like tears of joy, because I had felt like I conquered my fear. And I definitely had moments on the plane where I was really scared, but I wouldn't say really scared. There were moments on the plane that I was scared, but I got over it. Yeah, I think something that is really frustrating about anxiety in itself is just that sometimes it attaches onto things that seem insignificant but end up really dominating your life. I used to be so anxious about food. It was like, why food? You know, like something that's just, for some people, it means nothing. You know, you just go throughout your day. And I was anxious breakfast, lunch, and dinner, about snacks, about everything, always thinking about food, constantly consuming my mind, constantly anxious about my body. I used to be anxious about throwing up. Still am, not gonna lie, a little bit. Not as bad as it was, but anxious about throwing up, which felt insignificant. Anxious about flights, like it just attaches itself to certain things. But when the anxiety gets bigger and bigger and bigger, it's like, wow, even though these things seem small or insignificant, like it's not the death of a loved one or losing a job, it still can control your life in ways you never thought it could, and in a really debilitating and sad way. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate with, in whatever way anxiety has came into your life.
It's dark, we'll play our favorite tune. Heart and soul dance under the moon. When my dreams get so hazy and skies become gray, you'll be the one to guide me home.
The only way that I have found helps with anxiety is by not avoiding it, talking to somebody about it, even a mental health professional, bringing it to God in prayer consistently, asking other people to pray for you. And yeah, like I said, I think this might have been my first one, not avoiding it, which for me with stuff like throwing up was like more exposure type things, and facing it, and also just accepting your fear, not letting it control you, but accepting, like, okay, I'm afraid. That's what it is. And even when I was on the plane was tilted and I was like just staring down at, you know, what my anxiety was telling me was my impending looming death. It was like, you know what? I accept that I'm afraid right now. Boom. Just something as simple as that was genuinely taking control back from my anxiety and bringing me into a rational space. Like, yeah, I'm afraid. That's it. That is literally it. And I acknowledged it, and a couple minutes later, I was back to baseline, and by the end of the flight, I was kind of enjoying it. So, yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I just feel like anxiety just follows me around everywhere. If it's not about something, if I work through something, then it'll find something else to attach itself to, and it's just constantly working through whatever it's attached itself to. It's kind of like a whack-a-mole game at this point in my life. But anyways, let's go explore.
It gets dark, we'll play our favorite tune. Heart and soul dance under the moon.
Today, chance like that,
Dreams get so hazy and skies become gray.
trying to see what
You'll be the one to guide me home. For miles and miles, been sailing through the sea to find you here, standing next to me. So, my love, be my everything. Heart,
And just like that, I am back home.
stay
I'm so thankful that I didn't let my fear stop me from living my life. And I just want to encourage any of you guys that are wrestling with fear and anxiety over any certain thing, and you're just feeling like it's keeping you from living life more fully and experiencing all that God wants for you, to not avoid it and to really consider what it would look like to take steps to conquer some of these fears, or learn how to navigate and manage and be okay with certain emotions, because it is hard. It's not easy. Also, if you are wanting to join us weekly live, we do community Bible studies every Thursday night on our community. It's redundant, but yeah, I'll have it linked down below. Our Coffee and Bible Time community is $19.99 a month, and we share all of our in-depth Bible Study Academy courses on there, as well as we meet weekly and study through Genesis together. That's the book we're on right now, but we're going to be moving on to a different book after this. So yeah, come join us. We would love to get to know you deeper there. Alrighty, see you in another video. Bye.